Welcome to the Winning Edge Investments Podcast. Winning Edge Investments provides industry-leading horse racing and sports betting tips, ratings and education, enabling you to invest intelligently and treat your betting like a business. Go to www.winningedgeinvestments.com to learn more about how you can start to supercharge your betting bank immediately. Treat your betting like a business and invest intelligently with Winning Edge Investments.
Welcome back to Giddy Up, Winning Edge Investments, tips and ratings for racing and sports. And what a carnival Winning Edge Investments has had, led by their leader, Dean Evans, and he joins us now. Good morning to you, Dean.
Good morning, Gareth. How are you going?
Good, thank you, mate. Let's get stuck into our preview races. We'll start off with the Champion Sprint tomorrow. Obviously, the conditions are important because Tentaris is the favourite, but he won't start on a heavy track. He's at 280, Jolly Star 320, Giga Kick $5 and Tropicus at $10. How do you read the Champion Sprint?
Well, conditions are going to play a big part in the whole day. It's probably tricky to assess at the moment when we don't know what we're going to get with. We thought Melbourne Cup Day could be a quagmire and ended up running a pretty good track as off 5. So, but if there's rain on the day, it's going to make it hard for all of them. It's not going to be a negative for 10 tires only as well. Jolie Star is very much a noted dry tracker, and they've generally scratched and avoided wet tracks with her whole career. So. That's interesting. From a profiling perspective, the Everest has always proven the key lead-up race for this. Over the last 8 years since the Everest inception, 6 of the 8 winners of this race have come out of an Everest run. We've had 11 3-year-olds have a crack at it, and we haven't had a winner yet. That sort of barrier draw, 6 to 11 is a sweet spot with 10 winners. J-Max won 4, Waller's won 3. And I think Jolie Star, for me, she's won her only start down the straight here, won the Newmarket by 1.3 lengths. She won the shorts first up, and then that 5th in the Everest was really good. Mares have a really ordinary record in the Everest, and horses second up have a really ordinary record. So I thought her 5th was very, very strong. She looks really, really clearly the one to beat here. And against Tentaris, just being a 3-year-old backing up. Giga Kick's running this race twice and only managed 5th and 7th, and that was off 2 really high-rating Everest runs that rated higher than Escalachi wins them against him too. If the rain comes, if it's dry, I think Jolie Star extremely hard to beat. If it's wet, I think a really good roughie is Magic Time.
Okay.
She actually ran really well in the Everest. She sort of drew the right outside. She ran the quickest last 800 to 200 split of the entire race. She was really good winning first up at Group 3 level, then 3rd in the Banacado. She loves it wet. She's a multiple Group 1 winner. She won the All Age on a really heavy track. I think she's just a really, really huge price here. Glue-on shoes come off. So if the wet comes and you're ruling out Jolie Star and Tentaris, then I think Magic Time could be a really good value bet.
We'll go to the Champion Stakes and then we'll go to the Champions Mile. V16 is $1.70. Tom Kitten $9. Light Infantryman $10. Piers at $13. Hembardo at $13. Attrition at $16. Kovalika at $17. Is there any way you see V16 getting beat there tomorrow, Dean?
Not really. Pretty hard, unless, the only situation where you can see V16 getting beaten if there's a whole heap of rain on the day and it ends up that sort of quagmire like that day in the Maccabi Diva Stakes, in September last year where she got beat 7 lengths because it's just that really, really wet on the day rain is the only way you can really see her getting beat. You usually want to, we haven't had a 3 or 4-year-old win this race, anything with less than 19 starts, so we haven't had a winner. In fact, only had 2 winners that have had less than 5 career wins, so it's a high-quality horse race. You really want those proven 2,000-metre horses. V16, I think, just unbeatable unless it's an absolute heavy quagmire and it's raining during the race. And then the ones that I was trying to find that would like that really, really tough testing, heavy going would be probably Pier and Golden Path. So she's getting to probably unbackable odds with as a standard. It's probably stay out race, but if you want something to beat her if the rain really does come, Pier and Golden Path are a bit of roughie.
Does Pier give you an impression that he can get a strong 2,000?
I think in this race it's hard the first time you try it, but his 3 highest rating races have been over the mile. So those ran a lot of 1,400 metre races. He won a Group 1 at Riccarton over a mile. He won the Wayne Wilson at listed level over the mile and then ran 3rd to Chill Wolf and the King Charles over a mile, and they were his 3 clearest, highest rating races. So he certainly gives the impression that the longer he goes, the better he goes at the moment.
Great to be with you this Friday morning. It's Friday on 11 o'clock. This is Giddy Up, all thanks to Bet365. Dean Evans from Winning Edge Investments is with us. Winning Edge Investments, tips and ratings for racing and sports. It's time to have a look at the Champions Mile. I reckon it's the best race this season. The Everest was pretty good, but this is a proper grand final race here, Dino. And just having a look at the market with Bet365 for this feature there tomorrow afternoon. And the favourite is Mr. Brightside, with the weather looking like it'll go his way at $4. Pride of Jenny, $4.60. Charwolf, $5.50. Treasure the Moment, $6.50. Steffi Magnetica at $9. Like a Lucy at $9. And then Pericles at $16. Lake Forest at $16. Von Hawk at $34. And Stapati at $61. What are you doing in this year's Champions Mile, mate?
Yeah, I think you're right about the quality of this race. And you got horses of 19 million, 9 million, 6 mil, 6 mil, 11 mil, 7 mil, and 4 mil all racing against each other. You've got a very, very high quality race. It's only been a weight for age for the last 3 years. I've done a real deep dive into the winners in the last sort of 3 years around sort of speed ratings and peak distance ratings and official ratings and that sort of thing to try and find the winner, because it's such an open race. And it sort of narrowed it down to the top 2 being Pride of Jenny and Chill Wolf. I think Pride of Jenny, she's going to get a reasonably easy lead here on an average tempo if she wants. We've got sort of Mr. Brightside, Pericles and Treasure the Moment who'll sit handy, and then the rest of them will get back. With Chill Wolf, he gets back, he'll probably settle about 8th of the 10th, and I think the only challenge, if it's only an average tempo, will be, trying to sprint past the likes of Pride of Jenny and Mr. Brightside and Treasure the Moment's hard to do. The Pride of Jenny, she did the double winning the Empire Rose and this race 2 years ago, and she rated a 102.5 when she won the Empire Rose 2 years ago, and rated 103.7 this year. So you'd argue she's actually going into it better. And the rain's not going to bother, I don't think, because that year there was an absolute quagmire in the Maccabi Diva. She ran second, beaten half a length by Mr. Brightside. So look, I've got Pride of Jenny on top. Gerald Wolf, the danger, but I think Pride of Jenny can lead, and it's a real credit to the Mar stable and Tony. He does a lot of work. People probably don't realise that most of the horses do a lot of work at Tony's place, up until almost trial stage. And so to have this horse running as an 8-year-old and going so well is a real credit to them. But I think she can do the double again.
What's your speed map there then? Do you think that she can get away from her rivals, or Matty Laurie said on this show yesterday that he'll be instructing D Lane. D Lane probably knows anyway. Well, he does know that she can't be getting too far in front. So how do you see the map this time around? And then even Brightside, he was mighty in the King Charles. Where does he get to from that gate on your map there?
Well, I've got Pride of Jenny leading probably by a couple of lengths. So they're not, I know that they aren't wanting to do what she used to do, trying to set crazy fractionals and be well ahead anymore. She can be a bit more sedate. So, she can probably lead by a couple of lengths. Pericles might come across and sit sort of in that trail a couple of lengths behind. Mr. Brightside might sit outside him. And then Treasure the Moment is probably a length behind them getting cover. And but, it's always that risk. I don't think there's a heap of speed. But again, are they going to want to bust themselves and break themselves trying to go after her and be the bunny? It's easy to say you're going to do it before the race, but during the race you're trying to get the best position you can and ride the horse to its best advantage. And, she can sometimes surprise you and only be a couple of lengths front, but actually be going quite quickly. And while your horse is struggling to stay with them, she's just bolting and cruising. So, it can be a bit of a risk trying to take off early, and when you're running quicker fractions than you realise.
Then we go to the Queen Elizabeth Stakes. So it's going to be a fascinating race, Champions Mile, especially when you got Jenny involved. So bring it on. We'll go to the Queen Elizabeth now. This is a tough race. A lot of these horses, of course, nominated for a Melbourne Cup, but they go to the Queen Elizabeth on Saturday. Birdman at $6. Sayadati Sadati $6.50. Berkeley Square 7, Etna Rosso at $8, Star of India at 9, Whiskey on the Hill at 9, Golden Snap, they continue to back the Japanese mare at 12, and then Grand Piero at 19, Interpretation at $21 here, Dean.
Yeah, Golden Snap just saw a message that she pulled up lame, so they're checking her tomorrow, so I'm not sure she'll be running yet.
Yeah.
Plus the wet track with the Japanese is always a big question if that rain does come. The horse that just rates on top on all, about 6 or 7 rating markers is Birdman. He's coming out of that really strong form race to Caulfield Cup, was only beaten 2.9 lengths. He likes to wet. He won a couple of races in Ireland on wet tracks and showed his best form on wet tracks. He's only seen a wet track once here. He ran first up over 1,400. He's just sort of got that Group 1 form. Looking at the rest of them, there's some nicely performed horses. Berkeley Square and Etna Rosso are going pretty well. Interpretation's not a bad roughie, but I just think Birdman here it sort of brings out A-grade Metropolitan Caulfield Cup form in a race where the rest of them are bringing that sort of B and C grade, Group 2, Group 3 form. And I think if as long as Jane Mack can sort of slot in there from that wide gate and get a nice run with cover, a bit of sting out of the ground is actually going to be a big plus for Birdman. He hasn't sort of seen it much in Australia, but I think it's actually something he's been crying out for. And if he gets it on Saturday, then I think he can just go bang and be too good for these.
Love it, Dino. You've had a wonderful spring, mate. It's been a wonderful carnival as well. It's going to be a beauty there tomorrow. We appreciate your time as always. And for the SEN and RSN listeners, just go to Winning Edge Investments. I think you type in SEN and you get a lifetime 50% discount off a membership. You're back to winner already, basically, Dino.
Gareth, fantastic day tomorrow, and hopefully we can all finish the carnival with a bang.
Good on you, brother. Thanks for that, Dean.
Cheers.
There's Dean Evans there from winningedgeinvestments.com. Tips, ratings and betting education for racing and sports. Country Corner coming up next. Josh McGuinness will be my special guest, as he always is on a Friday, from Country Racing Victoria.
At Winning Edge Investments, our team of highly skilled expert analysts and full-time professional punters review the data, crunch the figures, assess the best betting opportunities, and deliver them to your phone via our app and your email inbox in real time so you profit. Go to www.winningedgeinvestments.com. Look at our membership options. Make your choice and enter the promo code PODCAST to receive a special 25% discount on your first membership just for listening. That's PODCAST in capital letters for a 25% ongoing discount on your first membership. Treat your betting like a business and invest intelligently with Winning Edge Investments.